Hi guys, welcome to the video. Today, if you haven't already noticed, this is going to be my eyeshadow palette collection and declutter. I have so many palettes here that I'm just overwhelmed. So I am going to go through them, show you each palette one by one, and start to declutter. But I'm gonna keep the ones that I love and things that I haven't gotten to try yet and stuff like that. So if you're into these types of videos for me, then definitely subscribe. And yeah, let's go ahead and hop into it. So first things first, I'm just gonna go ahead and talk about these palettes here from Hard Candy. These were sent to me in PR last year or the beginning of this year. I can't remember. Whenever these released, they sent them to me. And well, first off, I don't like really using blue shadows, and I have lots of other purples and neutrals in here in my collection, so I am gonna declutter all of these little guys here. So we're off to a great start, so I'm gonna put them in my declutter pile. I also have this tiny little mini elf mint palette, which this was like everyone's like favorite at some point when the mint collection came out. So yeah, I got this I think in a mystery box, or elf sent it to me, I can't remember, but yeah, I'm gonna declutter this because I don't grab it. Oh, this palette here, my niece, Chloe, who's actually sitting over here, she went to Hershey Park and got this for me at TJ Maxx. No, where'd you get this?
Hershey Park.
They actually were selling Glamlight at Hershey Park. Oh, okay, just kidding.
One too.
Really? Okay, so they were selling them at Hershey Park, which I guess makes sense. I haven't used it yet. I have swatched it, and I can't wait to use it because I think this shade is gorgeous. So are the mattes, but like, come on guys. Super cute. Plus right now you can actually shop this collection on their website for like Black Friday, and it's like super cheap. So you're welcome. Oh, and I'm keeping this. Next up, we have the Midsummer palette from Alter Ego. So this is actually a dupe palette for one of the ABH palettes. I forget what it's called, but it doesn't matter. This one is so good. I absolutely love it. I did several looks with it, and I was gonna make a reel when they sent this to me, but I accidentally deleted all the clips. I got annoyed, and then I just didn't redo it. But this palette was really good. Can't wait to keep playing with it. And you guys can use code Connor for 10% off at Alter Ego. I'll have that linked below. But all the Alter Ego palettes that you do see in this video, they sent me. So I just want to be transparent. But I am going to be keeping this. Love it so much. Another palette that I absolutely love from Alter Ego is the Luster palette. This one is so good. I die over this shimmer shade right here. Let me go ahead and just give it a swatch for you because it is gorgeous. Look at that. All over the lid. That is such a pretty shade. Choco Bell, stop touching my camera. So yeah, I love this palette, so I will be keeping it. Another one is this Sakura palette from Alter Ego. I actually had done a bunch of looks for a video, and I as well deleted clips on accident, and I was over it, so I didn't post it. But I did really enjoy this palette. This is a Natasha Denona dupe for, I forget what the palette's called, but it is a Natasha Denona dupe. They dupe all kinds of Natasha Denona, Pat McGrath, I think, and ABH palettes, and their quality is so much better in my opinion. So I'll be keeping that. We also have the Shadow Kiss palette from them, and I love this one. This is like a dupe for the Natasha Denona Cool Nude palette. I forgot what it's called. Actually, if you could, Chloe, I have I think another palette in that drawer now that I think about it. But this is a dupe for the Glam palette from Natasha Denona. Quality, just exactly the same pretty much, if not better. Absolutely love. I use this so much. Let's take a break from Alter Ego real quick and let's go into this beauty. This is from KKW Beauty. It was the last launch that she did for KKW, and I'm so sad about it because this palette and this color story is like my favorite. I actually had purchased several palettes from KKW. And this one was by far my favorite, and I haven't used it in such a long time, and I need to. And this was the first palette I believe so many people bought off of my recommendations. Even Abby bought it too and loved it. But yeah, I need to go back into this palette because it's beautiful. So I'm going to be keeping this. This is the palette that I forgot about. So I had my niece grab. This is the new I Need a New palette. I will be keeping it. It's absolutely stunning. I have used all of the shades and I just want to keep playing with it. It's so good. So I will definitely be keeping it. Okay, so this palette here is from Sigma. It's the Ambiance palette. Absolutely gorgeous. It's such a beautiful warm tone palette, and I normally go for cool tones, but this one is like tastefully done in my opinion, and I just love it. I did get this when I did a video for Look Fantastic a couple years ago, so I did get this sent to me. But yeah, I love this and I never could get rid of it. It's so good. Then we have this palette here from Iconic London. I recently got this in an IPSY PR. It's really pretty, but I just don't see myself ever reaching for this palette. It is really pretty. Like, I think that this shade is absolutely gorgeous, but like, I have a lot of greens in my collection, so like I don't need more just because I think it's pretty in this palette, so I will be decluttering this. I also have this Natasha Denona here that was sent in PR, in IPSY PR, and like everyone's shadow here came broken, which is like really sad. It's such a soft color too, but this is like not my color story. Like, I am never going to use this, so I am going to pass this on as well. And since we're already doing the little minis, I am gonna keep this one though because it's just a neutral palette and I absolutely love neutral palettes, so I will be keeping this one. Okay, so I have this little mini elf palette, which is super cute. Again, I have so many neutrals, I don't need any more. So I will be passing this on. I also have this one here. This one's really cute. This one's like darker, which is perfect if you like use the two for like their own palette, like, you know. Yeah, so I'm gonna get rid of those as well. I have these two Kylie palettes that were in like a holiday set a couple years ago, and I absolutely loved them, but they definitely have run their course for me. I do really want to keep this one though because these shades, I actually still don't have anything like them in my collection, so I'm going to keep the purple one, but I'm going to get rid of the warmer tone one because I do have these shades in other palettes, so I'll be passing this one on. Here I have two different Dior palettes. These were a limited edition. I don't know if you can still get them. They were sent to me in PR. I did a video for Dior. I actually did two different videos for Dior. I don't know if these were in the same video or if they were in separate ones, but they did send these to me. I am going to keep them because they're beautiful and because it's the first time I ever worked with Dior, so obviously I want to keep them for nostalgia for at least a little bit, so I will definitely be keeping these. Let's go back in to Alter Ego. We have the Mirage palette, which is their launch that happened the most recent, and this is a dupe for the Huda Beauty Empowered palette. This palette is amazing. It's incredible. I wore this in one of my last videos, and so many of you were like, oh my god, girl, what is on your eyes? What is on your eyes? I'm like, girl, it's this palette. I also did a video on it, so like you guys saw different looks with it. This is stunning, and it's like less than half the price of the Huda, and the quality is so much better, so keeping for sure. Then we have the Artemis palette, which is a Natasha Denona dupe. I haven't actually used this palette yet. It's so dark. It's not really like my typical color story, but I'm waiting for a time where I actually use this. Like I was really planning on doing a video where I do like really dark eyes and stuff, like sultry colors and stuff. So I will be keeping this for sure. I also have these two palettes from Nova Beauty that they sent me when I was doing content for them and stuff. They're not like my favorite at all. So for that reason, I am going to declutter. These are just, in my opinion, not good. So yeah, I'm gonna get rid of these. Then I have some Ofra palettes here, which these were sent to me in PR. They're really gorgeous and I will definitely be keeping them. This one is the Symphony palette, and then I have the Sweet Dreams palette. I feel like I have another one somewhere. This one's really pretty. Oh yeah, here it is. I knew I had another one, and this one is Falling in Love. How gorgeous. This is the Allie Dawson collab. They sent this to me and I just didn't have time to do a video, but it's so pretty and I'm definitely keeping these. I still feel like I had one more palette. I swear I did, but maybe not. Okay, so this is the Ace Beauté, what is this even called? Paradise Fallen palette. I also recently got this. This is so pretty, but I don't know if I'm gonna keep it because the purples are so dark, and I have a bunch of purples in this Lunar Beauty palette that I'm like, do I need both? I really do like purple shadows though, so it's like, do I keep it? Do I not keep it? You know what? I think I declutter this one because I do have a bunch of purples in this palette and I'd rather keep Lunar Beauty over this one. And I'm really trying to actually declutter, so I'm going to get rid of the Ace Beauté palette. But this packaging though, you guys, is amazing and I do really like the purples in here, so I'm going to keep this. And my dog is moving my camera. Chaco, quit. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm going to keep this. And then I have this palette here from Stila. I absolutely love this palette. The glitters definitely do give fallout, but I don't know, I still just like really love it and I'm not ready to give it up because I especially love these two shades. I don't know, I just can't get rid of it. I also got this from my BFF Caitlin, so I just can't get rid of this yet. I just can't. I can't do it. This is from Lorac. This is their Lorac Pro 3 palette, and this is so old. I've had this for many years, and at this point, I told myself at the beginning of the year, if I don't use this palette this year, then I'm just gonna go ahead and declutter it, and I didn't use it but one time, so I'm gonna go ahead and declutter it. This was the palette that I took everywhere. I went to Oregon with this palette. I went to Universal Studios with this palette, which is like all the traveling I've done in the last like forever. So I traveled with this so to 2 places. That means it's like extra special. So I'm gonna declutter. Let's see, we have this from Lash Step, unless that's just what the palette's called. Mad About You. I recently got it. These are really pretty. I don't remember what if this was IPSY or what, but this did come in like a PR box or something. I just don't remember from what, but super pretty palette, but I'm just never gonna use it. Plus I've never heard of this brand, so I'm gonna declutter. And then I have the Too Faced Pumpkin Spice Second Slice. This is last year's holiday palette and the only Too Faced holiday palette I've ever kept. This is such a gorgeous orangey like fall palette, so I will be keeping. Then I have this palette from Pop Beauty. I had another one that I gave my niece because I had a duplicate, but I don't really ever use these. So I am gonna declutter, and then my other niece can have one. Speaking of, I also have this one, which is the Light Show palette. That's just what they're called. Slay and Fire Fit. I just don't ever reach for these. I just don't really care much for the quality, unfortunately. So I will be also decluttering these. This is Natasha Denona, I Need a Nude. Wait a minute. I'm confused. Hold on. I don't understand. Oh, okay. My bad. This is my glam palette that I was talking about earlier. It is definitely well loved. Love it so much and keeping, obviously. Let's see. We're getting close to the end, and I say that, and we're really not close to the end. ColourPop Going Coconuts. My BFF Caitlin bought this for me a couple years ago, and I still use it. I shouldn't. It's so old. But this is like the most perfect, like, palette. I don't know. It's so good, you guys. I have to keep it. It's so good. Okay, this was another palette that I was saying if I do not use it, I will be decluttering. This is the Kylie Under the Sea palette. I definitely had a lot of love. Like, there is some indentions here, but it's run its course. I will definitely miss this brown shade. That was my favorite shade, but I just don't need to keep it for one shade, so I will be decluttering. Then I have this Huda Beauty Nude Light palette. This one is also super gorgeous, and I almost feel like this is kind of similar to the Natasha Denona palette that I don't, well, no, the tones are definitely a bit different, but I'm pretty sure I probably could get like the same look out of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this palette. I did love it for the longest time, but I just don't reach for it as much, so I'm gonna declutter. Okay, so Alter Ego again, the Goddess palette. I have not used this yet, but I am looking forward to it. This was one that got kind of like pushed all the way back, and I wasn't able to see, and I completely forgot that I even owned this one. So that's another reason why we're decluttering and cleaning out all these makeup drawers, so I can see what I have, because I forgot I had this. So I will be keeping. We also have the Natasha, the Glam Light Michaela palette that I got pre having second thoughts about her, but it's Glam Light's formula. It's amazing. It's the only like colorful palette that I own. So for that reason, I am going to keep. Plus, all these are so pigmented and amazing. So I could not get rid of this. This one is so good. So yeah, we'll be keeping. We also have the Coastal palette from Alter Ego. This is a dupe for the Huda Beauty Rose Quartz palette. Quality, 10 out of 10, the same. Like, honestly, but I am going to keep both because I do like both for different reasons, and I just can't see myself getting rid of both, even though they're the same. I know, don't judge me. I want to keep them both, okay? Stop it. Stop it. I also have the Natasha Denona Glam Face Palette. So this is technically a face palette, but I use it more for the shadows than I do for anything else, because this is like a very perfect, quick, neutral, warm-toned look, which I do go into quite recently, actually, even if it's just a companion palette, because I really like this color. So I will be keeping. Okay, believe it or not, this Give Beauty by Gwen Stefani Simple Kind of Life all matte palette is my most used palette out of my entire collection. It's like my perfect mattes that I wear all the time. I love this. I know it's like so simple, but like this is my most used palette ever. Like, out of every palette I've ever owned in my life, I've gone into this one more than any of them. I use it all the time. I love it. I love it. Okay, so this is the Lime Crime Venus Immortalis palette. I got this in PR a year ago, I believe, and I've swatched a shade or two, but I never actually used it. And now that I have the Natasha Denona Xenon palette, I don't see myself needing to keep this because I'd rather keep Natasha Denona over the Lime Crime, and they're both like smoky palettes. I don't even know if they still make this one or not. So for that reason, I'm going to declutter the Lime Crime and keep the Natasha Denona. So that was easy. Yay me. Oh, girl, we gotta talk about this. Anastasia Beverly Hills Carly Bible. So she's coming out with her own brand, which good for you, girl. It's actually really, really pretty. It's called The Beauty Bible. Perfect name. So this is from Anastasia, and I haven't used this. I told myself, again, if I don't use it this year, I'm gonna declutter it. But when I was going through all my palettes and swatching stuff, this was still really good, and now I'm like, why did I not use this? So I'm gonna keep it, and I'm gonna give myself until at least the end of the year to use this, and if I'm not still impressed, I will declutter it. Mark my words. I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use it. Okay. Then I have, then I have this palette. It's the True Nude palette. I don't see myself reaching for it, so I'm gonna declutter. My dog is scratching herself again. Choco. What are you doing? So I'm gonna declutter this. Then I have the Kylie Nightmare on Elm Street palette. It's really hard for me to like get rid of this palette because of the fact that it's Nightmare on Elm Street, but I kind of lost my attachment to it. So I don't know. Like, the only thing I really cared about were the matte shades in here. And I already have like all these other neutral shades like in these palettes. So like, do I need this? No. Do I want it? Yes. But am I gonna declutter it? Yes. I'm just like, I'm not gonna reach. I literally use this like a few times. That's it. So like, why keep it? I'm decluttering it. Bye. Same thing with the Hocus Pocus palette. I've been keeping this forever. I did like a huge giveaway. I was supposed to give away multiple palettes. I couldn't because this one came broken. And because it's broken, I just never used it. So I'm gonna declutter it. Don't hate me. I'm just like not about that nostalgia life anymore when it comes to things like this, because like, I guess when you do so much makeup for so long, it loses its nostalgia factor to me. So goodbye. Okay, now we're officially in the home stretch. Okay. The Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette, you guys. This is the OG first launch weighted and virtual liner 45 minutes 2017 palette. OG formula before Morphe changed it. Even though I have my opinions on Jaclyn Hill, I still cannot see myself getting rid of this because this was my first like actual makeup purchase that was an eyeshadow palette that wasn't like a drugstore palette. And even then, I didn't buy those. I had like one. So this is like nostalgia for me. So I just can't get rid of it. I don't even know if it's still good. Probably not. Because like it's been like 5 years, but or even probably more than that. 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Oh, it's been 6 years. I'm keeping it, but I'm a little guilty about it, but it's fine. We also have this from Morphe. This is the Calm Me Baby 9B palette. I love this palette. The literal pigmentation on this blew me away. I'm keeping it. I wear this often when I do pink looks. This is like where I'm like going towards, and we have a really good relationship, me and this palette. Just sticking on the Morphe trend, I think this is the last Morphe palette. Yeah, this was the Big Primpin' holiday palette from like 2 years ago, I think. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Such beautiful shades. I'm keeping this. Don't come for me. I'm keeping this. Next up with the big palettes, I have the Stone Cold Fox palette. Every cool girl's dream from ColourPop. Absolutely love it. I haven't even used all of the shades yet. I probably should do something where I like force myself to just use this palette for like 5 straight days. I would probably have a ball doing that. So I'm keeping it because I love it. This here from Suva, the Suva toppers, I just got literally like a week ago from my P.O. box from Chic Beauty Box. These are toppers, and I remember hearing these being like really good. So I'm gonna swatch them because like cute. Okay, lemon drop, stop it. Cute. Cotton candy, this one's blue. Cool, cool, cool. And then we got mojito, which is gonna be green. I think I'm gonna keep this for now. I just got it, so I'm gonna keep it. Life's a Drag. This is the Manny MUA Life's a Drag Lunar Beauty palette OG before he remade a bigger palette. I had this for the longest time for the neutrals. Now that I have the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude and all that stuff, I just don't see myself going for this. And since I do have his face palette with that white shade in there, I don't need to keep this for the white shade because I was keeping it for the white shade. So for that reason, I am going to declutter this. Then I have this palette that I got in my last IPSY unboxing video, the iconic London palette here. I just don't see myself using it. It's a lot darker neutral shades, which I'm not like 1000% into, so I'm gonna declutter this one. I could have sworn I had another one that had like a yellow shade in it, but I guess maybe not. But yeah, I'm gonna declutter this. Oh, Il Makiage Color Boss Master Palette I recently got, and I hadn't had a chance to use it, but this is gorgeous. I'm definitely keeping. Il Makiage is amazing. Just throw this packaging. Let's make it official. Also from Alter Ego, the Harmony palette. I've used this a ton. I'm going to be keeping this one as well. Oh, Lime Crime Venus XL2 palette. Got this in PR. This one is super pretty. I love the greens in here. It's different than any of the other greens I have because these are a lot more lighter toned. So for that reason, I'm going to keep this palette. And then I have these two from Game Beauty that I recently got because I did a video for Game Beauty. These are actually gorgeous and I will be keeping them. I want to keep playing with them because, I mean, they're just really, really pretty. And yeah, so I will be keeping these. I have from Violet Voss the Berries and Cream Dreams palette that I recently also got. But I just don't see myself using these. I just don't go much for like actual berry tones. So I'm going to declutter this one. We have Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde. This is one of my favorites. I love it. I had at one point all the big Huda Beauty palettes, and I've only kept the ones that I love, which are two of them that I would use a lot. So I'm going to keep this one. And now I have two more palettes. So Do It For The Gram by Beauty Bakery. Absolutely gorgeous. But these are just like colors that I don't really go for. Kind of reminds me a lot of this Natasha Denona that I decluttered. So for that reason, I am going to declutter this one. And then lastly, I have this palette from Estate, the Hidden Garden palette. Super cute. It has mushrooms on it, but tones that I just am not going to reach for. So for that reason, I'm going to declutter. So let me go ahead and count up how many palettes I'm keeping and how many palettes I'm decluttering. Okay, so I am keeping 41 palettes, but I'm decluttering 28. So in my opinion, I feel like that's a good number. So very happy with it. Y'all let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. I'm gonna just shove these in my drawer, hope for the best, and I will see you guys in my next video, which is going to be lipsticks and all the things, which I'm just gonna throw half of it away. You guys will be very proud of me. So anyways, thank you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.